The British monarchy has been around for almost 1,200 years, ruling over its subjects. But as luxurious as the royal life might appear, things aren't always greener on the other side. In this video, we're taking a look at the weird secret rules that the royal family has to follow. Traveling the world. As part of their duties, the British monarchs have to travel to all parts of the world, and while to a commoner this might sound like a dream job, you'll be surprised to know that it isn't as fun as it sounds. Whenever the British royals travel, two of them can't ever be on the same plane. Why? Well, because in the case of a plane crash, they still want to preserve their royal bloodline. So, let's say Prince William and Prince George should never fly on the same plane. And while he and Kate have broken the rule multiple times, they always have to take special permission from the Queen to break the protocol. As far as Her Majesty is concerned, she's grown quite lenient about this rule in the last few years, simply because she believes that air travel has become safer now than it was back in the day when the rule was invented. The Queen's death. Queen Elizabeth II is the second longest reigning monarch in the royal family, who has been sitting on the throne since February 6, 1952, marking 70 years of her rule.
That my whole life, whether it be long or short, shall be devoted to your service.
But what's strange is that her royal servants and the rest of her family are always ready for her inevitable death. The Queen has planned a protocol for her death all by herself. She has made sure that when she passes away, people will mourn for a total of 12 days, with laughter being banned and no comedy shows being aired on public TV to make sure that the general mood of the entire country remains somber. Not just that, but the Queen has also recorded several documentaries on her own life that are to be played on loop for the entirety of those 12 days to celebrate and honor her life. No driver's license. Speaking of the Queen and her power, she is also the only woman in all of England who can legally drive without a driver's license or a registration plate on her car. And while that makes sense for the most part, since the Queen is never really driving to places on her own and has her royal chauffeurs do the job for her, on occasions when she does feel like getting behind the wheel, there's nothing that can stop her, not even the law. No politics. Sure, the Queen is technically the head of the state, but here's the thing. The entire royal family is absolutely forbidden from being active in any kind of politics. This means that they can't ever express their support for politicians, just to make sure that their statements don't have an influence on public opinion. All members of the royal family make sure that they never engage in any kind of politics and remain completely neutral, no matter what the situation is. This means that it is actually unconstitutional for the British monarchs to vote in their elections. Dress code. The royal family has to follow a strict dress code, where no member can ever wear black unless they are in mourning. Black dresses are only reserved for funerals for the British monarchs, and the only person who has ever broken this rule is Diana, Princess of Wales, who would occasionally break out her black gowns for evening events, including her first royal engagement at a fundraising concert in 1981 after getting married to Charles, and not to forget the iconic black revenge dress that she wore when her husband admitted to the public that he had cheated on his wife. But other than that, the royals are always discouraged from ever wearing black in public. But even then, every time the royals travel, they need to have a black outfit ready in case of an emergency if someone is to pass away. This rule was drafted when Queen Elizabeth was on vacation in Africa and her father, King George VI, suddenly died. The Queen then sent her royal servants to go and buy an appropriate mourning outfit for her before she appeared in public to catch her flight back home. That's a wrap for weird secret rules that the royal family has to follow. Which one of these rules would you hate to follow? See you next time with something new, and until then, goodbye.